All right, Pep, take it away.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so the athletic director, Bill Gunn, here at Centennial High School is one of the good dudes around. In fact, Steve Mitchell at Santiago, two of the best ADs on opposite sidelines here tonight at this football game. But Bill Gunn, the AD, has an interesting pregame ritual. He will not shake anyone's hands until he shakes the hand of head football coach Matt Logan right after the coin toss. So I went up to him, telling him hello. He gave me a big hug, but he would not shake my hand because he is holding into tradition, and that tradition has panned out very, very well for the Huskies. So Bill Gunn, after the coin toss, as we see the Sharks and Huskies meeting at center field, at midfield, we'll get together, and they will do the coin toss, and then Bill Gunn will shake hands with everyone else on the sideline. Once that is done, and he has shaken Matt Logan's hand first. Back up to you guys.
Awesome stuff, Pep, man. Pre-game rituals come in all shapes and all sizes. Tim, you don't wash your socks on game day, right? Is that what it is?
I don't even wear socks on game days.
That's what it was. I knew it was something having to do with the socks. Centennial making their way onto the field. They'll be in the all-white Nike uniforms, the black helmets with the C. It's a classic look for the Sharks. This is the black C, and they wear all black top to bottom. I mean, we got guys with black cleats, the black tights, everybody black top to bottom. The Sharks and the Huskies going head-to-head. And how about Matt Logan in his 22nd season? And they really are the evil empire down there. They're a public school. And yet, year after year, the Open Division, Division I, they're in the hunt. They're in the conversation every year. And whatever they're paying Matt Logan, it's got to be not enough.
A few years ago, Servite came into town and tried to pull him away. And they offered him a head coaching job with all salary to be the football coach, not even to teach any classes. But his ties and his loyalty to Centennial won over, and he stayed, much to the happiness of the evil empire and the Centennial Nation. But once you build a tradition, kids come from all over because it's open enrollment in CIF, and especially if they move into an area, it's their school of choice. And Centennial, with their prowess in football and basketball, I should say also, is just a natural fit for people that want to excel in football.
And you know what? Circle City roots, they run deep. Corona, the citrus capital of the world at one point. The Battle of Rimpau going down tonight, a Thursday night edition of high school football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. None of it would be possible without our great sponsors. The next time you need your oil changed, check out Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change on Alessandro Boulevard in Riverside, just off the 215 freeway. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled, and give them a follow on Instagram. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been the #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire. We'll talk a little bit about that later. They can also do uniforms for your entire team or for your business. And, of course, they do Letterman's jackets. Check out Ken Sporting Goods in Norco and visit them online at kensportinggoods.com. If you're on the market looking to purchase a car, truck, or SUV, make Catalano Motors in Corona your first stop. They have weekly specials, so you're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get $500 off. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road, and visit them online at catalanocars.com. Athletes from all sports and all levels are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed classes and become the explosive, dynamic athlete you always dreamed of being. Follow Boost on Twitter and Instagram and visit them online at boosttrainingsystems.com. That's Boost Performance Training. Tell you what, next Thursday, join us again. This will be an all-Riverside battle. The battle for Corona going down tonight between the Sharks and the Huskies. Well, the Trojans and the Rams of Ramona, which I believe is Jeff Gorham's alma mater.
Absolutely.
If we can always try to fit his name in each broadcast, whether or not he decides to show up. So shout out to Jeff Gorham, a Ramona Ram standout and now alum. Ramona Hillcrest going at it next Thursday right here.
I believe that there's a chalk outline of his bust in the Hall of Fame there, in the Circle of Fame at Ramona.
Well, we are set for kickoff. Standing room only at Corona Santiago High School. Centennial in the all-whites. They'll go left to right. We're kicking it away. Onside kick to start things for the Sharks, who are looking to get the upset, and it is fielded by Centennial. And so the Huskies with real good starting field position. It was a gutsy call to start things off, but Centennial's offense, which we know is potent, doesn't have a long way to go to score that first points.
Well, it's pretty imperative that Santiago sends a little message here. From my inside sources here at Santiago, I heard defense is their forte, and this shows a lot of confidence in their defense with the onside kick attempt.
Well, a two-quarterback system for Matt Logan. He's done it a couple of times in the past, and it's going to be Friedland who gets the ball first under center. Quick screen pass, And that's Gary Bryant, who's highly sought after with the catch on the near sideline. Takes it for a first down inside the 30-yard line. So Friedland to Bryant, which has been a potent, lethal connection all season long to get things started for the Huskies here. Ball on the near hash at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for Centennial. Friedland, shotgun snap, looks to his left, feeling pressure. They're going to air it out, early contact, and that is going to be an incomplete pass. Boy, with that early contact, you're looking around for a flag, but excellent defense there for Santiago by Marcus Nesby.
Yeah, he had him walled off, not looking for any help over the top. He had them sealed off to the sideline, his only place to go. So Friedland wisely overthrew that.
And Nesby already with 3 interceptions on the year. So Centennial, who likes to pass, Nesby's a good guy to have out there. And Friedland went his way on the second pass of the game. Play action. This time they go the other way. Got an open man on the sideline, and it is hauled in. How about Aaron Smith on that near sideline down inside the 10-yard line? The Huskies on the move early.
Friedland does a great job through his reading through his reads, through his checks, excuse me. I got to talk fast because this is the no-huddle offense, and they're ready to line up.
Shotgun Friedland. This time the give, trying to bounce outside to the end zone. Waiting for the signal. He's in. Touchdown Centennial, Octavio Cortez. And the Huskies strike first, 6-0. And how big is that onside kick decision to start things off for Santiago now?
I think they have time to bounce back from that because, like I said, it's a message to his defense that they wanted to, that he had confidence in them. And so now it's still early, a quick touchdown, and they have time to see if they can bounce back from this.
Octavio Cortez, it's 6-0 Centennial, 11-17 to go, so less than a minute of a drive. And the extra point on the way for the Huskies. It is up. And it is good. So Michael Velasco puts it through for Centennial, 7-0, and now we'll get our first look at the Santiago offense as the Huskies are set to kick it away. The Sharks will be going right to left offensively.
You had to think that there's possibly some nerves, a little bit of excitement, butterflies on the Santiago side, just because it's a big home crowd and a chance to break the streak. So now they got that out of their system. Quick drive, again, out of the system, ready to play. Now let's see if their offense can get a sustained drive and get things righted.
Back deep to return, Jack Wolf and Luke Atwood for the Sharks, a 2-man return setup for Santiago. Now actually looks like they're going to have 3 guys back at the 5-yard line. And how often do you see that at the high school level? Not often. Usually a 1 or 2 return man unit on the kick return for teams. But Santiago going 5-3-3 on the kick return here.
Possibly something that they saw in the film that they could turn to their advantage on a kick return.
Marcus Nesby back to return as well. So Velasco will kick it away for the Huskies. This one is deep, but it's going to be a false start on Centennial. Somebody crossed the line just a little bit early.
What's interesting, if you look on the kick return team, not kick return, kick off team for Centennial, there's several defensive starters out there. A lot of times coaches use this as a kind of a throwaway to get some guys some minutes or some reps. But if you look, I see several of their starters out there on the kickoff team.
Yeah, Tuasivi Nomura, who's a stud defensively, is out there, as is Isaiah Young, a defensive back standout for Centennial. So all the stars are out there as we move back to the 35-yard line now for this kickoff. And here's a chance for Santiago to now get the return because that first kickoff by Velasco was destined to go out the back of the end zone. So Velasco with the right foot. Once again, a 5-3-3 look for Santiago on the kick return. Another deep kick. This one's going to be into the end zone. And so at the 20 is where the Sharks will take over. Nano Castillo at the helm of this Santiago offense behind center.
Centennial's defense, I got a chance to see them on TV the other night, a couple weeks ago against a really, really tough Orange Lutheran team. And their defense got rocked a little bit in the first half, so they can be scored upon. It's not like they're invincible. Orange Lutheran put 21 up at half with a great performance by their quarterback. So, again, Santiago can establish something right now. Just grind it out, run their stuff, don't panic, still early.
Castillo in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers out to his right, 1 to his left. Spread look, 1 back set. They'll hand it off on the first play, and guess who's right there to meet the back? That's Nomura, and we just talked about him on kickoff. Got his nose in on that first play. It's a handoff, and it's going to be a loss of about 2 or 3 for Santiago. Move it back to their own 18-yard line.
His penetration was exceptional. He got there just as the ball was handed off. There was no chance for the running back to get anything done.
Vincent Packleb on the carry. A loss of 2 will bring up 2nd and 12 from their own 18. Castillo motions a man across. And they go back the other way. Little speed option trying to flip it to Packleb. He can't handle it. It goes out of bounds on the near side as they were trying to sweep around the corner of that Centennial defense, and more yards in the wrong direction for Santiago.
Not quite the start you want to get to. Going in the wrong direction right now. But again, Butterflies, a little nervous probably. First quarter, first possession. Excitement, a good chance for them to compete with a tough Centennial team.
Back to their own 14, so this will be a 3rd and 16. Castillo motions a man across. Yet again, it's Giles. Castillo is brought down in the backfield. Boy, I don't even think he had the time to get the ball in his hands before he was brought down, and I don't even know who it was on the sack. A whole slew of Huskies, and the Sharks are going to have to punt it away from right along their own end zone. And this will be another good field position for Centennial. And it was Drake Jackson actually in on the sack as well. And he is a highly sought-after recruit inside that defense for the Huskies.
He exploded quickly across the line, got great depth. Before the quarterback even had a chance to get his 3rd step in and 3-step drop, he was on top of him.
Drake Jackson, the 4-star recruit. Sharks will punt it away. Standing in his own end zone with the right foot. This one is going to be fair caught at the Santiago 35. And a drive that took less than a minute for them to score the first time, as they're up 7-0 now, will now start at the 35-yard line for this quick-hitting Centennial offense.
Very explosive. In the game I mentioned, I watched against Orange Lutheran. They did put up 35 points in about 8-minute span. They can score quickly, but against Santiago, known for their defense, time to buckle down. Set a tone right now.
Alamika Ele now in at quarterback. They're going to pass immediately. Garrett Bryant over the middle, spins out of 2 tackles. Still trying to stay on his feet down inside the 15-yard line. And Centennial on the first play of the drive is on the move inside the red zone.
Bryant found a seam in the cover 2, zone defense by Santiago. Great read by Michaele.
Now shotgun look for Centennial. They got the wide side of the field to the near side. 2 receivers to each side of Michaele. They're going to toss this one up. End zone and is deflected away. Good defense there by Santiago's number 15.
Miles Wilson, senior defensive back, did a nice job walling him off. He did have some help over the top from the safety, but he did a great job not getting a defensive penalty on that one.
Amari Esclavone, the intended target for Centennial, got 2 receivers to each side, yet again with the doubles look. Michaele, shotgun, got a running back behind him. Play action, they'll go to his right. Quick pass is caught down inside the 5-yard line on the catch and run by Sebastian Cuevas.
Again, finding a seam, just sitting down in a cover 2 defense and zone defense. There are little seams to exploit, and Centennial, well scouted, finding them.
So 1st and goal, they hand it off, and an easy touchdown. This time it's Thomas Kinslow getting 6 more points on his resume. And it is 13-0 Huskies just like that. 2 drives, 2 short fields, 2 touchdowns for Corona Centennial.
That drive took all of 38 seconds. The first drive, 43 seconds. This one, 38. Right now, Santiago's got to step up and not hang their heads. It's not the same old team, not the same old gear. Again, a senior-laden group.
Velasco, who is yet to miss an extra point yet this season, makes his 33rd in a row in the 2018 season. Velasco puts it through. It's 14-zip for the Evil Empire from down the street.
Well, I got a feeling Centennial wanted to come in here and send a message, too, knowing that this Santiago team was one of the tougher teams that they faced in a couple years. So right now, the defense needs to get together, get to that giant TV screen if they have one. I know all the other teams have them. And get back to the drawing board, get back to the basics of what they do.
So another kick return for Santiago. Again, they'll go with that 3-returner look. Luke Atwood, Jack Wolf, and of course Marcus Nesby back to return for the Sharks, as Velasco will kick it away once again. Boy, what an awesome atmosphere for high school football. Am I right, Tim?
Absolutely. You got the the kettle corn smell down there. We got In and Out up here in the booth. Not for us, though. I wish it was. But just the fans, the cheering. I hear the student section from Santiago. I could barely hear you over that.
Velasco boots it away. This one's deep. He had a touchback on his last. This one's returnable, though. It will be Jack Wolf with it. Trying to work to the near sideline, makes one man miss. Still on his feet, he's got some room. Out to the 30-yard line, 35, and he's finally run out of bounds. As getting there for Centennial was Charles Sims.
I got to say, on the Santiago side, they're not hanging their heads. They're digging in. That was a good return. This is what they needed, a little something to spark the crowd, get them back into it.
A little breathing room for the Sharks, who started off at their own 20, worked backwards, and ended up punting out of their own end zone on their first offensive possession. Now a little bit more space to work with, a little better field position. You didn't get the touchback, and Neo Castillo with the ball on the near hash, 2 receivers out, wide to his right. A wing back to his left, maybe trying to add a little extra protection after they got to Castillo quickly. Handoff up the middle, positive yardage for Santiago. A pickup of about 5 out to the 39-yard line, and that's the first time we've really seen Santiago be able to move forward against this staunch Centennial defensive line.
Centennial has some size, but they got a lot of quickness with that size, and they're doing some stunts up front, taking some chances, and that opened up a gap. Good push from the offensive line.
A big man on the ground for Santiago. So the athletic training staff going to take a quick look at him. Speaking of the ground here at Santiago, how about this brand new field? Teal, black, everywhere. And it is brand new. Corona High School got a brand new turf all installed. Santiago as well for this 2018 season. Looking sharp here at the Black Sea. It's
an amazing look. The colors are really popping out there. And with that teal S, teal for loyalty for Santiago. And they're very proud of this field. You can feel the pride in the stand. You feel the pride from the student section. And they're not shaking right now. They're a little taken aback maybe, but not shook up too much. And that offensive line that time led by Jacob Serta and Nicholas Bisogno, leading the way with a big push, opening up a gap for the running back.
So a 14-0 lead for the Huskies, and it happened so quickly. We didn't really get a chance to set the stage for this game a whole lot. Santiago with an overall record of 3-2 that's just a little bit deceiving because they've got some really good resume wins as a very, very strong Division III team, and that includes a very good Murrieta Valley team featuring Hank Bachmeyer, and I'm sure that name is familiar to our listeners. And then also a very good team that we saw against Murrieta Mesa, also Division III, at Etiwanda, and that was a 7-0 character win for the Sharks. So they're at 3-2, but it's a deceptive 3-2 because it's a very, very talented squad.
And you know, whenever there's a rivalry like this, the rivalry on Rimpaw, you have kids who've grown up together, who've gone to junior high together, who went to elementary school together, and now they're on the opposing sides. And there's a chance now. You throw out all the records in a game like this. Back in the day, it was Corona versus Norco before the other schools showed up. Then it was Corona or Norco Centennial, and now the rivalries have shifted as the population has shifted. And this Centennial Santiago rivalry has quite a flavor to it.
Well, cell phones are out on both fan bases. I think this is some sort of competition involving flashlights and cell phones, but I love it. Love the atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, who would know atmosphere better than the boss man himself, Pep Fernandez, down on the sidelines for us?
Hey, Colin and Tim. It's funny. One of my best sources down here on the sideline is Matt Logan, staff base. Such a great guy. Always a stalwart here on the Centennial sideline. He's a huge fan, and why not? His son's probably the best high school football coach in the country, if you ask me. But he was just telling me he's so surprised that this offensive line is being so productive, not only tonight against Santiago, but really all season long, because not a single starter returned on the offensive line for Centennial this season. So the Huskies really had a rebuild up front, but you would not know it by the way they are playing tonight and the way they played through this 5-0 start. And guys, one other note before I toss it back up to you. If you go on the Centennial sideline right now, it's a who's who of college football coaches, and we've become accustomed to this because Centennial's had some great players, at least in the last decade, even going back 15, 20 years. I'm looking over there right now. I see BYU, Colorado State, Fresno State, everyone coming out, especially to a Thursday night game because it's kind of a little bit easier, a little bit more flexible on their schedules, especially considering if they have a Saturday game. So a lot of college coaches watching Centennial post 2 quick touchdowns less than 3 minutes into this one, and Matt Logan's dad, Wade Logan, called it. He says, hey, just look up front of that O-line, and that's the guys who paved the way for everything else. Colin, send back up to you guys.
Again, awesome stuff. Pep Fernandez got a ground-level view of this one, the Battle of Rimpa between Santiago and Centennial. And we're at a Shark sporting event. Got to have Pep Fernandez come through with his rendition of Santiago, which neither you or I are going to try to attempt because we'll never be able to replicate it.
Never.
But we love to hear it from Pep Fernandez. Offensive lineman still down for Santiago. Of course, we wish the best for him. But what a great atmosphere for high school football, and Centennial got all the college coaches on their sideline, and why not go to a virtual watering hole of Division I talent and in Centennial High School?
And then on the other side of it, Santiago also known for having some athletes and some college players coming out of this place. So this game itself probably has several athletes on both sides of the ball that the coaches want to see. And unfortunately, this looks like it could be a fairly serious injury to the lineman coming out. And something we talked about before the game, the Sharks. When a shark loses a tooth, they replace it with another one. So now Santiago's going to have to step up and have somebody from the maybe wouldn't get as many reps step up and fill that spot, and hopefully continue on this drive that they started to show some success on.
And it's a Santiago offensive line that didn't look good on that first drive, and then play number 1 of drive number 2, that offensive line had a really good push against a defensive line of Centennial that's full of Division I talent. 4-star guy, of course, in Drake Jackson. So Santiago's starting to look good on offense, and then you have this happen. It is a little tough for the Sharks to swallow. 8:45 on the score clock for Centennial, a 14-0 lead.
I see what you did there. It was a little hard for the Sharks to swallow.
See, sometimes you don't catch it, Tim. Sometimes you don't, and I'm sure you say things that I don't catch. But usually I leave the pun business to you.
Thank you.
But I've got a few tricks up my sleeve as well. So the Battle of Rimpa going down between the Huskies and the Sharks. Of course, on the Centennial sideline, got to acknowledge Matt Logan at the helm of Centennial, his 22nd season. This is a guy who's been an All-USA Coach of the Year. That was back in 2015. This is the one that stands out to me. 10 CIF titles in his 22 years at Centennial. And those are mind-blowing numbers.
That is crazy success. And if we go back down the coaching tree, Coach Logan, originally from Norco High School. I had a chance to get to know him when I was coaching over there. I was coaching basketball. And we do a brief history of Santiago. I was hired to be the first basketball coach here at Santiago. I was hired along with Todd Gearhart by athletic director Dave Reed. We all came over from Norco. I was on the committee to help pick the logo and the mascot and the colors. And it was fun. It was really fun to do that at the time. Unfortunately, I had some issues back home in Michigan with my mom having breast cancer being diagnosed, and I never got to work a day here at Santiago. I had to leave that summer before it opened to go back and spend a couple years back in Michigan. But I remember those were heady days. It was 21 years ago. Holy cow. Am I that old?
You're not, Tim. You don't look a day over 21, so you had to have been an infant when you were picking the logo. It had to have been.
Yeah, I remember we were watching Teletubbies when we picked it out.
There it is. See, I knew you got the inspiration from somewhere.
Actually, it was the San Jose Sharks. They were a very hot ticket at that time. Yes, that was the whole inspiration for the color scheme and that. And at the time, teal was a really hot color with its meaning of loyalty and fealty. And that was one of the reasons why we chose it. Black being the contrasting color there. But I love the way it pops on this field. It's an incredible looking field.
Well, and for Santiago, too, I mean, it's a great community, and there are a lot of athletes in Corona, multi-sport athletes as well, and obviously Santiago baseball, always a threat. Centennial football, Corona with a great soccer program.
Santiago just had a first-round pick in baseball with
Bryce Terang.
Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers chose him, a shortstop. First round, 21st pick.
Spent the season up in Helena with the rookie league team up there. Had a great season with the Helena Brewers.
And I have to say, I was hoping my Detroit Tigers would take a chance at him because they needed some position players. But they took Casey Mize, and they had a couple other shortstops in the system. But I thought it had been fun to take a local guy that I could watch here during his Santiago days as an early pick.
Well, Pep Fernandez is chomping at the bit. And, hey, Pep, we're talking some baseball up here. I think Bryce Terang just worked his way into the conversation, as he often does, a stud athlete out of Santiago. Pep, we send it down to you once again.
Hey, guys, Bryce Terang, man, one of the best high school baseball players I've ever seen with my own eyes. And good to see big number 77 for the Sharks getting on the part as we've got a pause here on the field. But I wanted to give a quick shout-out to Catalano Motors, one of our fine sponsors here on the Inland Sports Show and all of our live broadcasts. I just ran into Derek Catalano, the owner, on the sidelines. In fact, his son Anthony Catalano was a quarterback here for the Centennial Huskies. He's now a QB for Azusa Pacific University. But Derek said they have just expanded their car lot off Temescal Canyon Road. Lots of Escalades, lots of Tahoes. In fact, this week's weekly special out there is a 2015 Dodge Challenger SXT under $21,000. Go check it out. That's Catalano Motors off Temescal Canyon Road, and visit them online at catalanocars.com. Back up to you guys.
Catalano Motors, that's where you got your last unicycle, right, Tim?
Yes, it was actually one of those raised unicycles.
That's what it
8
was.
feet high. Yep.
There it is. And we are set to get back to action. The Battle of Rimpaw resuming after a quick pause due to injury. 8:40 and counting in this first quarter. Huskies with a 2-touchdown advantage. They'll motion a man in from that wide side. Scrambling to his right. Castillo has that one deflected away, trying to get it far sideline. And so it will bring up 3rd and 5 for the Sharks.
Very well defended by the cornerback, number 5, Brown from Centennial. I've seen him a couple times in action. He's a stud, an excellent cornerback, very quick, closes on the ball very quickly.
So Santiago now with the first 3rd down that they've had with manageable distance, and we'll see what they can do here. Castillo, over 800 yards passing already this season for the Sharks. Ball on that near hash. They got 2 receivers to the right, a wing back, and a receiver to the near side. They'll motion a man in from that far side, fake it to him. Looks like somebody might have moved early, someone wearing a black jersey to be specific. So just when we said they had 3rd and manageable for the first time tonight, penalty going to back them up, and it will be 3rd and 10 for the Sharks.
You know, that's tough enough when you got guys like Malik Skurlock and Drake Jackson on the defensive line attacking you, to now put yourself into a 3rd and long where they can just pin their ears back and come flying up at you.
So 3rd and 10 for Santiago. Castillo shotgun look. Got a running back there with him. Again, doubles that far side. Centennial disguising all kinds of different blitzes and looks. Castillo in trouble, trying to scramble, and he's tripped up near the line of scrimmage, and that'll force Santiago to punt once again.
Again, the penetration is getting there so quick. Castillo doesn't even have a chance to set his feet and make a read. He had to step up into a pocket that was collapsing around him and made the most of it best as he could right there.
It was Corey Foreman on the tackle for Centennial. So another punt for the Sharks. 2 drives, 2 punts for Santiago. For Centennial, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
And I want to say, I think Centennial has the luxury of going single platoon guys too.
Yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot of Centennial guys going both ways. Punt just gotten away for Santiago. Going to fall near sideline, bounce a few times. And finally, it's scooped up by Jackson Kurtz, and Centennial now starting on their own half of the field for the first time in this game.
Again, here's that chance. Santiago has a very vaunted defense. They shut out Etowanda, a team we saw in week 2 that was very potent offensively. And now they should have their feet under them a little bit. The nerves should be kind of worked out, and it's time for them to step up, make a play, see if they can slow down this offense.
Just over 7.5 to play in frame number 1. This time it will go back to Friedland for the Huskies at quarterback. Snap, play action, buys a little time, moving to his left. Got a man wide open, and it's caught. Retzlaff on the juggle, down inside the 20, a bomb. Reggie Retzlaff on the receiving end. And Friedland, to the former quarterback himself, Reggie Retzlaff, puts the Huskies in the red zone.
And I got to talk fast. He found a nice seam on that, just ran a straight post route, threw it over the top. The safety had rolled over, bit on the fake. They had a little play action on it. And one of the things Friedland's very good at is he holds the ball for quite a while in that read option. He buries the ball into the ball carrier's stomach, causing those safeties to bite, and that's what the result is.
1st and 10 from the 19. Handoff up the gut, few yards on the pickup for Octavio Cortez, who scored the first touchdown of this game as Centennial leads at 14-zip. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 now from the 15-yard line. Friedland, shotgun, got Cortez back there with him. Doubles look for the Huskies. 2nd and 6, snap. They'll fake it to Cortez. End zone, tipped, and almost caught on the deflection for Centennial. But how about the Sharks getting there in time?
Very good defensive play by Carson Foster.
Aaron Smith, the intended recipient of that pass.
Safety rolled over on top of that one, made a tight window for Friedland to squeeze it into. Almost an acrobatic circus catch.
And so here we go, 3rd down, the first 3rd down of the game for Centennial. 2 receivers to each side. Friedland shotgun. Got Cortez behind him. Fakes the handoff. Fires one into flats on the right side. He found Smith, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down to the 6-yard line. So they convert on 3rd down and bring up a 1st and goal.
Kind of a bend-don't-break philosophy on the defensive side right now, Santiago. Gave up a short slant, and then a slew of Sharks closed in to bring him down.
Friedland shotgun again, this time ball in the near hash. They'll give it up the gut. Touchdown Huskies. Octavio Cortez for the 2nd time tonight. Crosses into the black plate, and it is 20-0 in favor of Centennial.
And that drive took all of 58 seconds. So with 58 seconds, that was almost double their other drive, the 2nd drive they had. First drive, 43 seconds. Very impressive showing by their offense right now. Friedland orchestrating with his ball fakes. His ball fakes are freezing the deep backs from Santiago. When they bite on the fakes, it frees up some lanes and slants, and they're finding the seams. That time, he gave to number 4, Flores, who turned it into a pretty much untouched touchdown.
Well, Michael Velasco, 34 for 34 on field goals in this season. It is 21 to zilch in favor of the Evil Empire, and what a start for this Husky offense. 6:32 on the clock. Santiago's going to have to answer, and they're going to have to answer quickly.
Yes. Now, again, no, not desperation. It's still only the 1st quarter, but they got to get something out of this. They got to show some kind of drive here, get some points on the board just to slow things down for Centennial. But I'm impressed by this kickoff team with several starters on it. I can't think of another time this year where we've seen that many starters on a kickoff team. Shows you the importance that they put on the special teams at Centennial.
Well, and it was a punt return touchdown by Gary Bryant that was the turning point in that Orange Lutheran game. So obviously special teams real big for the Huskies. Velasco set to kick this one away, left to right for the Huskies on the kickoff. Velasco, this one headed towards the end zone, going to be fielded inside the 5. And here come the Sharks back the other way. Luke Atwood trying to go up the far sideline, runs into a white jersey or two, can't get it back out to the 20. And so it'll be 1st and 10 around the 15-yard line for the Sharks.
You know who was one of the first guys in on that ball was number 14, Reggie Retzlaff, on the kickoff team. Wide receiver, former quarterback.
And so 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Santiago going back to work, searching for some offensive success that they've lacked kind of all evening.
Now, one of the problems going against the Centennial team is they disguise coverages so adeptly, and they change right before the snap. So if you have a zone blocking coverage with your line, your offensive line, that changes the reads right before the snap, which causes a lot of havoc up front.
Ball in the far hash to start things off for Santiago. Castillo, shotgun, 2-back set. They'll motion a man in. All the way across, jet sweep. They hand it back the other way on the counter. Lots of space to run here for Packleb. Packleb up the near sideline, out to the 30-yard line, near the 1st down marker, and they're going to give it to him. So a 1st down for the Sharks, and that was a real good-looking play with the misdirection. They faked the jet sweep to the right and ended up going counter to Packleb to the left.
Absolutely. They caught the defensive end from Centennial cheating on that one, and he got sucked in. Great block from the wingback from Santiago.
First and 10 now from the 30. Castillo, two-back set. Ball in the near hash. Got two receivers out wide to the right. Double check the play to the sideline. Quick look at the wristbands for all the skill position players. Huskies showing blitz. Castillo takes the snap. Sprinting out to his right. He's just going to lob this one up there. Near sideline. All kinds of contact over there. And it falls incomplete.
And since both players were playing the ball, neither one had their back turned to the play. It was just pretty much a jump ball. Luckily for Santiago, that was not picked off.
Second and 10 now for the Sharks from their own 30. Trailing 21-0 with 6:11 to go in quarter number 1. Good news if you're a Shark fan, the speed of the Centennial offense gives you a whole lot of time to try to answer.
And going on that play right there, he's got to throw that over the top so that if it misses, it just goes away from both receivers, with his guy having the only chance at it.
Castillo, shotgun. Snap. Trying to get it out to the flats on the bubble screen to Packlub. And it falls incomplete. Looks like it might have been deflected, possibly by Tyler Kinslow.
Now, they're lucky that was not called a lateral. Right away, the official signaled that it was an incomplete pass. But that was pretty close to a lateral. A backwards pass that could have been picked by the Centennial cornerback for a pick six right there.
So the Sharks with now 3rd and 10 from their own 30. They had a real good-looking play to Packlub to that near side to get them their first down of the evening.
With the speed that Centennial shows, misdirection seems to be the best result, getting them going in one direction and committing, and then bringing it back against the grain.
Trips to the wide side. Castillo passing the flats, connecting with Jeremy Schneider, but it's not even going to be close to enough for a first down, maybe a pickup of 2. And so 4th and 8 will bring the punt unit on for Santiago.
Centennial up in a press man coverage. The cornerback, number 5 again, Brown, on top of the play, and as soon as the ball was caught, he was all over him like a cheap suit.
Jacob Maraquin back to punt things away for the Sharks. He's standing at his own 19-yard line. His team down a triplet of touchdowns. High snap. Going to get the punt away just barely. Boys, Centennial getting closer and closer every time on that punt block. Reggie Retzlaff back to return. Catches it at about his own 26-yard line. We'll see Centennial one more time. And it appears that Ala Mikaeli is going to step back out there for Centennial.
They just trade set series, it looks like it. And very successful from Friedland last time. But with a host of Division I players out there, it'd be fun to be a quarterback in this system. And we have to talk really fast. I feel like the guy in the Micro Machine commercials. If you remember those little cars, we got to get this going.
Mikaele, shotgun snap. He'll keep it himself on the read option. Boy, he's got all kinds of space out near the first down marker as he cut it back to midfield.
And I got to give it to Centennial's quarterbacks. That read option is so hard to defend because they're so adept at holding the ball into the running back until they make that read. And you got to commit as a defender.
They'll give him the first down by the nose of the football. 1st and 10 now from their own 37-yard line. Quick look to the sideline for Mikaele. He's got over 600 passing yards in a 2-quarterback system. 600 passing yards is an impressive number if you're the only quarterback. Finds Retzlaff, far sideline, tries to hurdle a defender. Gets tripped up in the air by Marcus Nesby. Brought down about a yard shy of the first down marker, so a pickup of 9 on first down. 46-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 1.
Marcus Nesby, very impressive on that corner over there for Santiago. He's going against Division I receivers play after play, and he's making plays over there.
Mikaele, play action, hit as he throws. This one's up for grabs, and it's hauled in. Amari Esclavone with the catch down near the 20-yard line, and Centennial's on the move with yet another big play.
Big receiver got inside on the safety, on the corner, and the safety rolled over a little bit late, allowing number 85 to get that wall on the corner. And it was just a jump ball, and he's a bigger dude, and he got it.
Big collision, and Miles Wilson shaking up a bit on the play for Santiago. But this will be 1st and 10 now from the Sharks' 23-yard line. Boy, I love the matchup at the top of the field between Retzlaff and Marcus Nesby. That's going to be a good one to watch all evening long, regardless of the score, which is 21-0 Centennial right now. Under 5 to play in quarter number 1. Mikaele, shotgun snap, going to pass. Going Retzlaff's way. Nesby's there. Couldn't hang on to it for the interception as he dove for it. But he had walled off Retzlaff and was in great position on that play.
There was no one else going to get that ball except Nesby. Nesby played that textbook perfect.
And so it brings up 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. Huskies knocking on the door yet again, up 21-0. Mikaele, shotgun, handoff right up the gut. He gave it to Kinslow, pickup of a few, and brought down on the play by Mark Moreno.
And if you watch the Centennial quarterbacks, they play it through all the way. They carry the fake through, and he came up faking the throw. And if you watch some of the defensive backs from Santiago, bit on the fake of the throw.
You know, and that's a maturity thing. Not many quarterbacks have the patience to leave the ball in the gut of their running back for that long.
And then it's a confidence thing, too. If you look at the splits on Centennial's lines, too, they're very wide splits.
Mikaele back to pass, going to his right. Gets to Gary Bryant, tries to make a move along the near sideline. Steps out at around the 10-yard line. Will move the chains. Will it be enough for a 1st and goal? Yes, it will. He's inside the 10.
Now, the wider Centennial's lineman splits are, the wider Santiago's defense has to spread, their defensive line. So if you can see, there's really big gaps there.
Mikaele give to Kinslow, a shoelace tackle for Mark Moreno. Pickup of 1 or 2 down near the 5-yard line on a 1st and goal, and it'll move it right to the 5. So 2nd and goal with 5 yards to go.
And you can see the splits there. There's like a yard split between the linemen, leaving those big gaps.
Mikaele give to Kinslow. He slices through. Touchdown, Huskies. Thomas Kinslow. That's the 2nd time tonight that he's got pay dirt. And it is 27-0 in favor of Centennial.
And again, you hear the crowd's kind of quieted down now. And Santiago's got to dig deep, and they got to come up with something positive on this drive. They have to come out of something this quarter that's positive, because they got to hang their hat on something.
Velasco. Will he be 35 for 35 in 2018? That's a yes.
Yes, it
28-0.
I'm still kind of, this is the first time I've had a chance to see Centennial live like this. It's like watching fast break basketball. It's just constant motion on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. They're attacking you, just always attacking, never on their heels. And that's tough to defend because of the different looks they give you.
3 minutes, 2 seconds on the clock. Not even done with the first quarter yet. Centennial bringing the heat early on.
And that drive took about 2 minutes, their longest drive of the day. So, Santiago, let's see what we got to measure themselves with here. Again, they just have to run their stuff. They got to do what they do. They can't panic, can't get 28 points on one play.
We talk about Matt Logan because you have to when it comes to Centennial, but on the opposite sideline, Scott Morrison with an impressive resume as well. Picked up his 100th career win as a head coach in Game 1 of this season against Marietta Valley. That's a head coaching career that spans 30 years in 5 different schools.
And also what was impressive this fall was the Santiago football team going down, taking waters to the firemen that were stuck in the fires and working to save houses. So not just football coach, but also a great person teaching great character here at Santiago.
On the return, Luke Atwood able to slither up to the 20-yard line. And that is where Santiago's offense will go to work once more. We've seen them find success with the misdirection. We'll see if they go back to it here on this drive. Ball in the far hash, 1st and 10, set up at their own 20-yard line. They trail by 4 touchdowns inside of 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
The team with this speed and this closing ability, they've got to change directions, getting them going in one direction, coming back across the grain.
Castillo, this is a speed option. He'll keep it himself, cuts it back, and will pick up 3 yards on the play. So Nano Castillo faked the pitch to Packlip, tucked it up, tried to get a few extra yards, and was successful. So a good first down chunk. And like you said, you're not going to get 28 points in one play. You've got 3 quarters plus to work with. Those 4-yard plays, they're going to be big in keeping the Centennial offense off the field, getting your defense some rest as well.
That's a good solid play. I would take 4 yards on a first down. Again, it was kind of a misdirection because he faked the pitch and then he cut back up against the grain where the hole was.
Castillo trips to his right. Going to throw that way quickly, and it's caught near the first down marker. Hanging on despite the big hit for Santiago.
Is that going to be a first down? They had one of the receivers. It was what we used to call an old button hook route. He ran straight ahead, turned, sat down in the seam, quick throw from the quarterback, hit him, good read, and a first down.
They're going to give him the first down, moves the chains. 1st and 10 right on the 30-yard line, so it was a close one. I believe it was Schneider on that catch on the quick curl route. Very Georgia-esque on that play.
Georgia Frontier.
Shotgun snap, Castillo, misdirection. They'll give it lots of space for Packlub, and he's going to be near the first down marker. Boy, how about that? We talked about it. Santiago got to go with the misdirection. They did it there and got a first down out of it. Now 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Nicholas Bisogno and Thomas Tuff, one of my favorite names for an offensive lineman, blowing a hole open there for the running back.
Castillo, shotgun.
I think those quick hitters and those hook routes and comeback routes are things that are going to have to get them going because Centennial's speed is pretty impressive on the defensive side.
Trips to his right for Castillo. They'll pitch it out to Packlub. All sorts of Huskies closing. Near sideline, he's pushed out right at the line of scrimmage. Centennial sets the edge really well, and if you want to just go straight up pitch that way, they're probably not going to let it happen.
I think those off tackle and angle plays and maybe a counter or a trap kind of thing, those kind of plays would set them up well because of the penetration they get, but just trying to get the edge straight on like that is going to be tough tonight.
2nd and 10 now from the 40-yard line. Ball on the near hash. 28-0 in favor of Centennial. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Santiago's defense all huddled up on this near sideline, trying to get things together. They've allowed 4 touchdowns already. This is a sweep play to that far side. Atwood is met and brought down for a loss. A great play by Tyler Kinslow, the senior defensive back for Centennial, and it'll be 3rd and double sticks for the Sharks.
He closed on that play so quickly from his corner. Once he saw that it was a run coming his direction, he flew to the ball.
So Luke Atwood on the carry trying to get the edge. Loses 3 yards. So back to the 37 they go. 3rd and 13 here.
Correction, even more impressive. He closed on it from his safety position.
Castillo, strength of the formation is to the right. Wide side is to his left. Now they'll motion a man. All the way across, they're going to pass. This one, a miscommunication up the far sideline, will land in a vacant spot and bring the punt team on for Santiago yet again.
So Centennial showed a cover 2, initially a zone coverage, and they switched right before the snap into man coverage, and that's a checkoff for the receiver and the quarterback. But like you said, a miscommunication. Obviously, they didn't read it the same way. He threw kind of a straight route out, and the receiver did a stop route.
1 second on the clock, so we'll have to just punt this one away to end the quarter. Got to run the 11th man on for Santiago. And now we're good to go. Boy, Centennial's come awful close these last couple punts to getting a block.
Bad snap.
Able to just get it away.
Got a good bounce, too.
This is going to roll down to the 43-yard line of Centennial, and that's where the Husky offense will go to work, but we'll flip it to the other side as the quarter has come to a close. 28-0 in favor of the Huskies after 1.
You know who's been the most impressive guy right now on the Santiago side has been the punter. The punter has been under pressure, and he's been creating good field position or bad field position for Centennial with some kicks that are under pressure. One of the toughest jobs, most underrated jobs out there is the punting job. Because you got to, under pressure, guys flying at you, and you have to perform. And on that one, there was a bad snap, and he still got it off and made it happen. All right, as we head into the second quarter here now, we have that time of possession that we were talking about. Centennial's offense had the ball for all of about 5 minutes of that first quarter. And unfortunately for Santiago, that turned into 4 scores. They're impressive. Their offense is impressive. Like I said, it's a fast break offense, reminding me of a basketball team out there, just going, going, going. And because they're no huddle and they're so quick with the snap, defensively, Santiago having trouble getting personnel changes or different packages in to react to what they're running.
Well, Centennial put up quite a few points in their last game. That was a 77-7 beatdown of Valley View. They're on track for quite a few more points tonight, up 28-0 as we start to set the second quarter in motion.
And then we have a very good Santiago football team here. Make no bones about it. They're good at what they do, but they're being kind of taken to the woodshed right now because Centennial is imposing their will, and we're seeing an incredible offensive juggernaut here. But again, Santiago, a chance to make a stand defensively. Let's see if they can adjust to what they've been seeing. And let's get a stop on this and get some confidence going.
The first play of quarter number 2. Back out there is Carter Friedland for Centennial. The junior signal caller with pressure as they tried to set up a screen, a miscommunication there, trying to get it out to his running back out of the backfield. And Pep Fernandez is down on the sideline with a quick report after the first quarter.
Hey, guys, I was doing a little bit of Tim Hatch's dirty work, trying to find out if Ala Michele is related to the Michaeles from Citrus Hill High School, who were big-time football stars from a couple years ago. I could not get it confirmed, so it's neither confirmed nor denied. But he's playing very well, and the platoon with quarterback Carter Friedland working out very well so far for the Huskies.
Yes, he is a fake on the give and a keeper for Friedland. He's brought down for a loss. That's the first tackle for loss that the Sharks defense has come up with, and that'll bring up a 2nd and long for Centennial.
David Castaneda made a great play. He didn't fall for the fake. It was a great fake. I fell for it. I was watching the running back go, and the quarterback had kept it. Castaneda showing great discipline. Stuck his head in there and tackled him for a loss.
3rd and long, so a doubles formation for Centennial with the far side of the field to the right of Friedland. Pulls it away from the running back and a pass it. Far sideline, Retzlaff trying to make a move. He stays in bounds, tiptoeing the sidelines, 30, 20. Retzlaff gonna go all the way, 10-5, touchdown Huskies.
He had 2 Santiago Sharks there trying to push him out of bounds instead of tackle him. If they'd have tackled him, they had lost, and it would have been a 4th down. We might have seen the first Centennial punt.
So hold on, the referee might be signaling there was an illegal motion against Centennial. The flag is all the way back at the line of scrimmage. So that touchdown not going to count, but Reggie Retzlaff with quite the individual effort on that far sideline.
He showed a lot of strength there because the 2 Santiago guys were trying to push him out of bounds. But in that case, you got to wrap him up. You got to go for the tackle instead of just, shoving him out of bounds, especially with the size of that receiver. Now we got 3rd and very long.
Talk about a momentum shift. Santiago goes from having a big, long touchdown when they had the Huskies back in 3rd and long. Now they get 10 extra yards backwards, so 3rd and very long for the Huskies. Set up at their own 35-yard line. The first down marker is at the Sharks' 47. Play action pass. Friedland near side. It's caught. And then being pushed out of bounds near the 50-yard line is Aaron Smith for Centennial.
Now, will Centennial punt here, or will they be going for it?
The offense is staying on the field. They're going to spot this one at the Husky 47. 4th down and 7, or 8 that is.
Get a very gutsy move. Going for 1st down here. If they don't get it, then Santiago gets the best field position they've had the whole game. If they do get it, it could be quite a punch to the gut for Santiago.
So 4th and 6 for Centennial. Friedland rolling to his right, trying to buy a little extra space. He completes it a yard beyond the first down marker to a diving Gary Bryant. And Centennial keeps the drive alive by moving the chains.
Very heady move by Bryant. He ran his route to the stick, 1 yard past it, and quite a good, that was a pretty impressive throw by Friedland.
So 1st and 10 now in Santiago territory at the 46-yard line.
So it started out as a great possession defensively for Santiago. They need to get their heads back in that.
Friedland handoff up the middle. First down, still on his feet. There goes Cortez, far sideline, inside the 20. Finally dragged down. No, he stays on his feet. 10-5, touchdown Huskies. Octavio Cortez for the third time tonight, and that one has been his most impressive so far.
He showed great missability on that one.
Missability award watch list for the night for sure. Octavio
Definitely.
Cortez slipped out of a tackle at the 10-yard line by ducking under someone. Stays on his feet to go in for the score, 34-0 in favor of Centennial in the Battle of Rimpaw.
And he's not a very little guy either. He's 5'9", 200 pounds. He showed a great burst there as he saw the opening, squirted up the field, broke a couple tackles about 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, and took off.
So Velasco trying to keep the streak alive. It's up. It's good. He's perfect this season. Over 30 extra points. Hasn't missed one yet. And Centennial not missing much at all anywhere tonight. Up 35-0 with 10:28 to go before halftime.
Now, as a Santiago coach right here, you got to get your guys fire up. You can't quit. As simple as that. You're down 35-0. You can't look at the scoreboard right now. You got to come out and you got to play your game. They had a decent drive going earlier, but before that one player was hurt, and they've shown it in short bursts that they can move the ball. And they've got to stick it in, stick with their game plan, and try and stick it in the end zone and get a score out of this.
So Santiago now working left to right. Velasco set to kick it away. 35-0, the Centennial lead in the Battle of Rimpaw.
Pardon me for dangling my participles there. A little mixed metaphor.
Velasco, not only good on the extra points, he's dropped the ball inside the 5-yard line on almost every kickoff.
Again, looking at several starters from Centennial on this kick return.
This is a line drive into the end zone. A touchback will put Santiago at the 20 to get things started. Another drive for the Sharks, looking for some offensive productivity, which we've seen glimpses of, but never a sustained drive.
That last drive they had, I think they were just one misread away from getting another first down when Centennial got caught switching to a man coverage out of his own. But it's really tough for, especially for the linemen in the blocking schemes. If they're on a zone blocking scheme, look at all the shifting they're doing, and that changes their responsibilities every time they shift.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20. Castillo. Fake the jet sweep. Go back the other way with it on the counter. Pickup of 3. That time the give going to Garrett McMurtry.
And I think Castillo does a very good job of hiding the ball. They just have to stick with it, keep running the offense. I'd take those 3-4 yard plays in the beginning.
Castillo shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. This will be a 2nd and 7. Now from the 23-yard line. To his right is McMurtry. Motion man across. Again, the counter to McMurtry. Gets the call once again. Down near the line of scrimmage. Picked up maybe a yard.
That interior defense of Centennial is very impressive. They go with a 3-man front, but they disguise it by blitzing linebackers, so sometimes it looks like a 5-man front.
3rd and 6 from the 24.
Now they go to a 4-man front.
Huskies working with a 35-point lead. And they're working on a shutout here in the first half. Castillo. Again, motion for the Santiago offense. Castillo in all kinds of trouble. Steps up and gets brought down.
And he had no pocket to step up to. He tried to step up into a pocket, just collapsed around him.
For Centennial getting there first, Nick Smith for the Huskies with the sack. And so Santiago will punt once again, down 35 to zilch. Under 9 minutes to go until halftime. Fourth and 9, they'll punt it away. Moroquin at his own 7-yard line.
And Again, I think he's been the most
Bad
important.
snap, punts it away. He's able to get it on a pretty good line drive. Going to bounce back towards the Sharks, though, and roll out of bounds at their own 33-yard line.
I think
Centennial's a team you can't give good field position to, and
not
the
at
Sharks
all.
have done it multiple times tonight.
I think he's been their best player so far because he's had to step up under pressure. Again, a bad snap there where he had to dive to get it and to still get a punt off while under pressure. Unfortunately, that time he got a bad bounce and a very short field for Centennial again.
So Centennial, this time with Mikaele at the helm. 1st and 10 from the Sharks 33. Kinslow, first down near the 20-yard line as he slices up the middle for Centennial.
And again, if I could call your attention to the wide splits that their offensive line takes as they line up. Look at the gaps that are between their linemen, and that's how wide the Santiago linemen have to line up to cover those gaps. But those
Mikaele faked the handoff and is sacked. A solid play for the Santiago defense is coming up big is Enrique Marrero.
showing great discipline, not going for the fake, as I did. I thought he had handed it off that time.
And so now a 2nd and 13 as they move it back to the 24-yard line. Mikaele, play action. All kinds of time to throw. Got Bryant in the end zone, overthrows him by just a bit. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long from the 24-yard line.
Very well covered on that play by number 4, Jack Wolf. He rolled over from his safety position, covering over the top, helping out Marcus Nesby. Mikaele threw it to the only spot he could throw it safely, a little over the top. Otherwise, it could have been an interception. You know, and Pep talked about the offensive line from Centennial, how they had they were young, no returners. But think of the pace they have to take. I mean, conditioning-wise, play after play after play.
3rd and double sticks, met immediately off the handoff is Kinslow, and a great tackle by David Castaneda.
Castaneda stepping up a little bit for the Sharks this quarter.
This will be 4th and 15 now as it moves back to the 26-yard line. Offense still on the field for Centennial, although they do have a pretty good kicker. They will leave the offense out there. Mikaele, shotgun per usual. Got a doubles formation ball near that far hash. Fake the handoff to Kinslow. Mikaele throws an interception. It's picked off. Here comes Santiago back the other way. And Philip Lay with the pick for the Sharks. Flag after the play. But Santiago in the Black Sea, finally something to celebrate about.
It's his first interception this year. Philip Lee, he did a nice job on the read. He stepped into the gap there that the wide receiver had gone down the seam, and he closed that seam very quickly and did a nice job on the return also.
Let's talk about Philip Lay for a little bit. Stud on the defensive side of the ball for Santiago. 3 forced fumbles already this season. That's his first interception, though, so props to Philip Lay. And Santiago, like I said, something to cheer about, down 35-0. And let's see if the Sharks offense can ride that momentum. Castillo, play action, quick pass, space as he gets it out to number 10. Far side, brought down after a pickup of 4 or 5. Jeremy Schneider on the reception.
Again, quarterback Nano Castillo doing a nice job hiding the ball. Play action on that brought the linebackers in very quickly from Centennial, which created a little out route for Schneider. Delivered the ball perfectly, good run, good solid first down play.
Pickup of 4 on the reception by Schneider. So 2nd and 6 for the Sharks as they set up camp at the 32-yard line. Doubles formation for Castillo, ball on the far hash. Running back directly behind him. Castillo. Nomura going to blitz off the edge. So they go quick pass, and it's completed. First down on the reception by Luke Atwood. And those quick hits, like you said, going to be big for the Sharks. Got one there to Atwood to move the chains out near the 40-yard line.
Great read by Castillo. Great pickup. He had the hot receiver there because that's where the blitz was coming from, and he found him very quickly, delivered the ball perfect.
1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line for the Sharks.
So Santiago showing a little momentum here. Sustaining something here, a couple plays in a row, solid plays.
Three receivers to the near side for Castillo. On the 1st and 10. Centennial showing blitz. Castillo trying to get out of it. It's Drake Jackson who gets there first, and Castillo goes down. Drake Jackson, along with Corey Foreman, in on the sack, and Santiago moves backwards for the first time this drive.
Drake Jackson at 6'4", 275. Speed like a fullback out there. Closed that hole quickly. He rode in off the edge and gave no place for Castillo to turn. He was just under pressure. He couldn't get his feet set.
Now 2nd and double sticks from their own 32-yard line. The first down markers at the 49. 17 yards to go for the Sharks. Shotgun, Castillo motions a man. Quick pass deflected up in the air. It's going to fall into a vacant spot, though. So a sigh of relief for Shark fans everywhere. But 3rd and 17 on the way for Santiago.
A great rush by the defensive lineman. He had his arms up the whole way, and unfortunately Castillo couldn't get his arms down. And a lot of times quarterbacks get the arms down by looking off the receiver. And unfortunately that time Castillo stared him down, allowing that defensive lineman to get the hands up, get that deflection.
Castillo, 2 receivers to each side. From the 32-yard line, 3rd and 17. Motion, they'll pass. Pressure, set up the screen. Packlib catches it out of the backfield up that far sideline. Squirted free for a few extra yards, but couldn't even get back to the first marker. And so a 4th down and a punting situation for the Sharks with under 4.5 to play in this first half. 35-0, the lead for the Evil Empire.
I think that was a pretty good play call, calling a screenplay on that, because you take advantage of that rush coming in. But unfortunately, the defensive backs closed so quickly for Centennial, they got there before he could make anything super positive.
They'll punt from their own 34-yard line. The punter, Moroccan, who's had an awesome night already, given some tough situations, stands at his own 20. Back deep to return for the Huskies. This time Moroccan with time to give it away as they're going to set up the return. This one is caught, and a chance to run it back for Centennial. Aaron Ulian gets it to around midfield, and Centennial
great tackle
will get back to work.
Number 10.
If it is, that's Jeremy Schneider, who's an offensive stud for Santiago as well.
Yeah, he decleated that returner. He got a good running start, dropped his shoulder, perfect tackle, textbook tackle, head up, no chance for an injury. And, like I hate to see these guys emulate some of those plays you see in the NFL these days where they just lead with a shoulder or, they try and just make a hit instead of a tackle. That was a great wrap-up by Schneider.
Now from their own 48-yard line, Carter Friedland back at quarterback for Centennial. 1st and 10, ball on the far hash. Doubles formation for the Huskies. One back set. Friedland hands it off. All kinds of running room for Centennial. Cutting now towards the near sideline. Still on his feet is Cortez. Delivers a blow at the 30. And Centennial is on the move with a real good, tough run by Octavio Cortez.
Friedland held that ball so long in his gut before he let it go. It was impossible for the linebackers to make a read on that because you can't tell if he's handed it off, he's kept it.
Cortez gets the call again, picks up a few before finally being dragged down. He had 4 touchdowns coming into this game, 3 already tonight, and it's not even halftime.
He's not only showing miss ability, he's showing smash ability. So when those defenders roll up to tackle him, he's delivering some blows, some punishment to the would-be tacklers.
Near hash from the 31. A pickup of 2 sets up 2nd and 8. Friedland with Cortez directly behind him. Play action. Friedland will pass over the middle. Got a man. It's Retzlaff down to the 5-yard line on the catch. And another first down for Centennial. 1st and goal on the way.
So when the linebackers see that fake handoff, when they see him put the ball in the running back's stomach, it makes them commit. When they commit, it opens up seams behind them. There's just a nice slant. Good route ran, a good delivery.
Friedland, shotgun. 1st and goal, 5 to go. Cortez looking for his 4th touchdown of the night, keeping the feet moving. Down inside the 2-yard line, still pushing. Forward progress will blow the play dead as he takes it to around the 2.
Santiago's still battling. Santiago's hanging in there. Their defense is delivering hits. On that last play before that, Cortez was hit pretty hard by the trail linebacker. Santiago's still playing with some pride out there.
Friedland. Snap from the 2-yard line. Cortez walks in. Touchdown, Huskies. And that's his 4th touchdown of the night, tying his season total coming into this game. Octavio Cortez, how about this guy? A long run on the far sideline in which he broke an uncountable number of tackles. Punches it in there on a 2-yard run. It's 41-0 Huskies. Still 2 minutes until the halftime horn sounds.
Well, again, he's showing that missability and smashability in a running back. Someone at 5'9", 200 pounds. He's got very quick feet. And again, what I like about it, when he makes his fakes or his jukes, as the extra point is kicked again, Mr. Automatic.
That's 37 in a row for Velasco.
His fakes don't stop his momentum going forward. He doesn't fake sideways or east-west. It's always a north-south move. And his feet are amazingly quick. And he's an impressive young man.
42-0. The team from down the street putting the hurt on Santiago.
And you know, it's gotta wear in the back of the minds of the Santiago guys, like, oh, here we go again. And going from that first drive, I gotta hand it to Coach Morrison though. That was a pretty gutsy move on the onside kick to start a game out, knowing that you would give a short field. But again, that shows confidence in your defense and saying, okay, guys, so if they get the ball, we step up. But unfortunately for them, Centennial hitting on all cylinders except for the one interception today.
Santiago's band getting set to take the field. Boy, they take pride in their band here at Santi. The boss, band of Santiago Sharks.
And they have several visitors. I guess it's some junior highs visiting today.
Boy, if you're in junior high, you want to learn about being in the band, Santiago's a good place to go. They've marched in the Rose Bowl, several competitions. They go out there, they win some prizes, bring some accolades back to the Circle City. So lots of pride in the band, marching band for Santiago as that kick is through the end zone. So 20-yard line will be the starting point for the Sharks offense again.
Now, I've marched in the Rose Bowl too. I marched to the restroom after I had too many Cokes and at the UCLA-Nebraska game a few years ago. As I ran a concession stand, selling hamburgers, bacon burgers, and Platte River water for the Nebraska people right from the home of Tom Osborne.
No way.
It wasn't, you're right. That's what we called it. Trying to make some sales to the people wearing red with the corn on their hats.
I like it. Castillo, shotgun. But Tim, you're just a treasure trove of stories. Do they ever stop?
Never.
Good.
Been a million places, got a million. Oh,
Boy,
big
Castillo
hit.
just barely handed that off to what looks like Packlub before he was brought down on a big tackle by Simon Hall, a linebacker for the Huskies.
Hall got there just as the ball was delivered. A split second sooner, that's a fumble and going the other direction. A fumble 6 for Centennial.
Boy, Hall already has 2 sacks, and with good reason. And Centennial's going to take a timeout here. 2:01 on the clock. This will be 2nd and 12 for the Sharks from their own 18 when we get back to action. Here's the good news for Santiago, and obviously this game's not over yet. If they can score 42 points in the first half, time-wise, it's possible to score 42 points on them in the second half. But for Santiago, the good news is you play in Division III, and you're a very good Division III school. You just beat a very good Adewanda school. You're number 6 in the division. This one game doesn't define you. Here's the bad news. The Big VIII League, you got to finish top 2 or 3 to get into the playoffs. Big VIII League's really good top to bottom. We're talking about Norco and Roosevelt. Obviously, Centennial showing off their muscles, flexing their muscles against Santiago tonight.
And I know Norco's off to a good start this year also. But that defines these teams in this league is the toughness of the schedule. And tribute to the coaches here at Santiago playing a tough non-league schedule and not scheduling some patsies and running up a winning record for no reason. The wins they have are very impressive.
Well, in Division III, Roosevelt, Murrieta Mesa, Adewanda, Santiago. I mean, we could very well see an all-inland area CIF semifinals.
And don't forget, did you say Cajon?
Is Cajon in Division III as well? So obviously Cajon going to be in the conversation. Screen pass far side for Santiago. And a first down pickup on the catch and run. The first touch by Tate Giles.
That was a good play, a good safety play with the receiver screen. Now, short, quick bursts, not letting Centennial's defensive lineman get a good running start at Castillo. Castillo's been a warrior all day today, standing in there, pocket collapsing on him, showing himself to be a very tough quarterback.
Under 2 minutes until halftime. 42-0 is the Centennial lead. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Castillo, low snap. He's able to corral it. Trying to find some running room up the middle. This is going to be a hold against Santiago as he spins out of a tackle and picks up 5. But it's going to be no matter because we'll have 1st and 15 coming.
I think Centennial's trying to delay them into one more possession so they can go after the punt as close as they've been coming on these punts. Get a punt block set up. And then even if they don't get it, their offense can score, and as they've shown, in 30, 40 seconds. I'm wondering, what does Centennial's 2-minute offense look like if their regular offense is this fast-paced?
Yeah, exactly, and they might have a chance to experiment with that here before halftime. And that's going to be a personal foul, so a loss of 15 yards for the Sharks.
Not the way you want to go into a half, going backwards and against a Centennial team that is pressed up in man coverage.
So we have 1st and 13. I believe it's a spot foul on the personal foul. That one well overthrown in the direction of Giles. Got his legs taken out from under it, but he's okay as he gets up off the turf. We'll bring up 2nd down.
As a receiver, you go back in the huddle on that and say, hey, buddy, help me out. Don't throw it up there like that, because you got to extend out and give these guys a bigger target to lay out. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy as a receiver. Not that Castillo did it on purpose. He's just got to step up into that throw. He threw it off his back foot, so it sailed on him.
2nd down and 23 now for Santiago. Set up at their own 19. Castillo, as the Huskies show blitz, escapes, lobs this one. It's going to go over the head of everybody. Still under a minute to play.
Safest place he could put it because right there, Centennial brought the kitchen sink. They had everybody blitzing. So he looked for his hot receiver where the blitz came from, but they came from everywhere. So he threw it out where hopefully only one guy could get it, and that would have been number 7. But unfortunately, out of his reach too.
So 3rd down from the 19-yard line, a 3rd and 23 situation for the Sharks. They got trips to the near side, which also happens to be the far side of the field. Castillo, shotgun snap. Blitz again from the Huskies. Got to get rid of it quickly. He does. That's Atwood.
Again, kind of a pick route there.
Brought down after a gain of 3 or 4. And we'll likely see a punt on 4th down for the Sharks. That'll give Centennial the ball back with about 49 seconds on the clock.
And they've already had 2 drives of under 49 seconds to score.
So they'll take a timeout.
Shorten up the field, maybe go for a block on this one.
42-0. They've come awful close on a few punts earlier on in this game. Wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're trying to do here. With the ball spotted at the 24, you'd be seeing a punt from about the 12-yard line. That's definitely punt block territory.
And not a lot of room for error here for Santiago.
$42-0.
The Santiago crowd still hanging in there. The fans are still enjoying themselves, even though the score is a little out of hand. The student section standing, they're on their feet. Our friend Rob from Santiago is up here dancing, showing off some of his dance moves during this timeout. Pretty impressive.
From the 10, Moroccan set to punt this one away. 4th and double sticks. And it does look like Centennial is going to bring the punt block from the left side. Moroquin just got it away. This one's straight up, though, shanked towards the sideline. It's going to land out of bounds, but this could be a roughing the kicker penalty. No flag down, though the white cap in the backfield was waving his arms. He never actually threw the flag. And that one was tipped up in the air as it got shanked towards the sideline, and another real good starting field position for Centennial. Looks like they're going to mark it at the Santiago 42. And 42 seconds on the clock, 42 points already on the board for Centennial.
The white hat there was signaling, even though there was some contact, that the ball was deflected, thereby negating any contact that happened. Now, your Santiago's defense, you got to dig in. This is a pride thing now. 42 seconds. You want to buckle down, keep your discipline, make sure you're following your responsibilities, and hold them from scoring on this.
Mikaele on as the QB for Centennial. Passing. Got a man over the middle. It's caught down to about the 25-yard line for the Huskies. Got to get up to the line quickly as that one was completed to Esclavone. Trying to get the chain set up. 1st and 10. Mikaele. Gary Bryant got his legs taken out from under him on the catch at the 20. Good closing speed by what looks like Nesbitt over there.
Marcus Nesby again, showing his athleticism and his closing ability.
Pick up a 5 for Centennial. They'll use their final timeout, I believe, of this half. 2nd and 5 on the way. So Marcus Nesby has done a great job against a very talented Centennial receiving corps.
Marcus Nesby has been very impressive today for Santiago, because play after play he's going up, matched up against a slew of receivers. He's going up against Retzlaff, Bryant, just different guys coming at him that are Division I players, and he's shown himself to be a warrior himself out there. So now with 22 seconds left, that gives them a legitimate 3 shots. So if you are Santiago, you don't want to let them get outside and get out of bounds. If you're Centennial, you do want to run corner routes or routes that are along the sideline so you can step out of bounds and stop the clock.
2nd and 5 for Centennial from the 20-yard line. Mikaele, the signal caller on this drive.
What
22 seconds to work with for the Huskies, trying to add to their 42-0 lead. Mikaele trying to escape pressure. He's sacked. In there is David Castaneda, and the Huskies got to get to the line quickly. Approaching 10 seconds to go in this half. Ball moved back behind the 25-yard line to the 26. Mikaele just going to spike this one, and we'll have just one shot to the end zone if that's what Centennial wants to do, or maybe a field goal as they try to get a few extra points on a 4th down with 4 seconds on the scoreboard.
David Castaneda has played a great quarter for the Sharks. He's a linebacker. He is a 200-pound senior who's really stepping up and making plays and playing with a lot of pride out there for the Sharks.
This field goal on the way, and it might have sneaked over the crossbar, and it did. Michael Velasco is now 2 for 3 on field goals. It's 45-0 in favor of the Centennial Huskies as we head to halftime. You're listening to Inland Empire High School football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Cullen Holt. We'll have the second half for you when we come back. Take a quick break, talk some high school football scores during the halftime break. Once again, this is an Inland Sports production of high school football. And you're listening live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Centennial 45, Santiago 0. Second half is next.
never comes like you tripped and fell. So long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that. Said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was going to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa. Without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time. One last time, take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. To someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me. But I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding, I saw my first child expanding. I take care of you when you get old. Think about it, come and make my legs cold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. Wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time.
Welcome back high atop the press box at the Black Sea, otherwise known as Corona Santiago High School. Centennial on top of the Sharks, 45-0. Centennial just cementing their spot as the top dog in the Circle City, and a very impressive offensive and defensive showing for them. But last week, all kinds of fun high school football. I mean, Centennial is 77-7 beatdown of Valley View, but we'll talk about a few of the different scores, including Heritage shocking Cajon 41-36, the final. Patriots coming out on top.
Is Heritage Division III also?
They very well could be. There's a lot of IE talent in Division III. Citrus Valley versus Grand Terrace, all inland area battle. Blackhawks coming out on top. Kurt Bruick, 28-21 over Grand Terrace. Rev all over Colony, 48-14. Murrieta Mesa, who we saw against Etowanda, 33-22. The victory over the Terriers from Redlands.
Yep. Hopefully they found that their bread and butter they were looking for.
Yucaipa, a 35-31 win over Silverado. Vista del Lago, 32-18 over Pacific.
Patriot with a win over Harupa Hills. I thought Harupa Hills was a pretty good team. That's a nice win for Patriot.
Citrus Hill all over Pauley, 49-7.
Yeah, I was at that one. It was 28-0 first quarter, 43-0 at halftime. And Citrus Hill's defense is very, very good this year.
Rivalry game for you. Paloma Valley defeats Temecula Valley 48-21. Vista Murrieta, how about this for a football score? 8-0.
Over a tough Loyola team, too.
So lots of fun games in the Inland Empire as far as the high school football world goes. Last week, got a few more coming up this week as well. Cajon obviously going to be in the highlights when we tune in at 11 p.m. for IEMG Sports Weekly Live, which I highly recommend you do, the only Friday night high school football TV show, taking you through all the highlights, all the interviews, everything you need to know. Pep Fernandez hosts on the IEMG YouTube channel, so be sure to tune in for that one. And Centennial, like we said, a balanced attack offensively and defensively, and they managed the game well. 4 seconds left, they were able to get that field goal before halftime and make this a 45-0 lead.
I mean, if we took a time of possession from the two teams, Santiago's dominating time of possession. Santiago's longest drive was about a 3-minute drive that turned into an interception. So they've scored on every possession except the one where they threw the interception. Great play by Philip Lay, his first interception this year. So again, not a bad Santiago team, a very good Santiago team, but Centennial hitting on all cylinders.
Just when you think you have enough of the inside scoop between Tim and I, Pep Fernandez is on the sideline with more.
Hey, Colin. Hey, Tim, man. It's been a crazy first half. And listen, we knew Centennial's offense was going to be explosive. Let's not forget that this defense has done a really great job tonight as well. You know, I was talking to Dr. Alexis Burrell. She's the principal here at Centennial High School, and she was saying that, you know, she wants her team, as much as they want to win, they got to show class and they got to do it with character. And she's actually a huge fan of Santiago as well. She thinks Scott Morrison, the head football coach for the Sharks, and Steve Mitchell, the AD, good guys. She, you know, from afar, you know, enjoys their program, admires what they're doing, but she's extremely proud of the way Matt Logan and his coaching staff handles their business on the Centennial sideline. So there's a lot to be proud of at Centennial High School in terms of winning big games, scoring a lot of points, being one of the best teams really in the nation, and the way they do it, the way they handle their business. And one other note I want to throw in here. So Dr. Burrell's husband, if you're a football fan, you know who he is, Tony Burrell. He's been a head football coach at a lot of different places in the Inland Empire. He is the receivers coach this season at Centennial High School. So I told Dr. Burrell, I'm like, well, gosh, I guess Tony Burrell's going to have to take all the credit for this great Centennial team with Gary Bryant, Reggie Redflaff, and all the points they've been able to score through the passing game. And she just kind of laughed and said, no, Centennial's been doing this a long time before Tony even got there. So, but I did want to give Tony a little bit of credit for doing a good job with the Centennial receivers. Colin, Tim, back to you guys.
Awesome stuff, Pep, from the sideline. The Santiago cheer team on the field after the band performed. Obviously, Boss, we've talked about how prestigious of a program they are. Despite the score, Santiago's band delivers an excellent professional performance once again. Well, the next time you need your oil changed, go ahead and check out Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change on Alessandro Boulevard in Riverside, just off the 215 freeway. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled, and give them a follow on Instagram. Well, since 1976, Ken's Sporting Goods has been the #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire. They can also do uniforms for your entire team and for your business. And, of course, they do Letterman's jackets. Go ahead and check out Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco and visit them online at kensportinggoods.com. If you're on the market looking to purchase a car, truck, or SUV, make Catalano Motors in Corona your first stop. They have weekly specials, so you're going to save thousands of dollars. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get $500 off. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road. Visit them online at catalanocars.com. Athletes from all sports and all levels are going to boost performance training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed classes and become the explosive, dynamic athlete you always dreamed of being. Follow Boost on Twitter and Instagram, and give them a follow online at boosttrainingsystems.com. Boost Performance Training. If you'd like to sponsor an Inland Sports broadcast or the Inland Sports Show, simply shoot us an email at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us next Thursday, right back here, same bat time, same bat YouTube channel. Hillcrest Trojans, Ramona Rams, going at it on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. This is Thursday Night High School football. Pep Fernandez, Cullen Holt, and Tim Hatch up in the booth. Appreciate you joining us. 45-0, Centennial leading at the half. We'll be back with the second half on the other side of this break.
Got along too well. And I'm blind man yourself. That even if I cried for help, you would never come till you tripped and fell. So long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that. Said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying now. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting. And just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. One last time. One last time. Take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain. Indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. Do someone you love and that's the sharpest tool. Anyone that's given me, but I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding. I saw my first child expanding. I take care of you when you get old. Just think about it, come and make my legs fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight I'll just enjoy the ride. And love myself tonight. Whoa, without you life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting. And just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. If I tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that. Said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was going to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying now. We've been told we weren't the best. We tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight I'll just enjoy the ride. And love myself tonight. Whoa. Without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride.
Well, Tim, I was hoping we'd come back and have you singing. I mean, Sweet Caroline blaring here, and both sides still partying. It's a 45-0 Centennial advantage, and I don't think I've seen Tim Hatch this excited.
I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs. I sang it out with my daughter in the car when we were stuck in traffic, embarrassed her. But the people around me in the car, like in the commercial, were singing with me.
Just like this, just like the commercials.
Absolutely.
It was like a real-life musical. But isn't that what parents are for? Like, if you're not embarrassing your kids, what are you doing as a parent?
Absolutely. That shows you care.
Huskies up 45-0. The Battle of Rimpaw is broadcast live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We appreciate you joining us. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Colin Holt. Hatch is the one in the Hawaiian shirt. If you want to distinguish us, if you see us, say hi. We're high atop the press box here at Santiago High School. Sharks looking to make a big comeback in the second half, but Centennial in that two-quarterback system, offense strikes quickly and they take no prisoners.
They had a time of possession of about 7 minutes of the whole first half. But still scored 6 touchdowns and a field goal with only one empty possession where an interception on a great play by number 13, Philip Lay for Santiago. But, you know, we talk about their offense a lot. Their defense has been just as impressive. Santiago has not been able to sustain any drives or get anything going because even when they get a couple positive plays, that defensive line led by Drake Jackson, Corey Foreman, and Malik Skurlock have been very impressive.
Santiago will receive to start the second half. They trail it 45-0.
So if you look on this kickoff team, I'm going to say it one more time. We have starter, and then you have Retzloff in there. And as you work your way down the line, you see all kinds of starters on their kickoff team.
Special teams are at a premium over at Centennial High School.
Because I know in a lot of schools, they'll take guys that are maybe second string, and they'll run them out there to get them some plays and get them some reps. But doesn't look like that's the way with the Huskies.
Velasco set to kick it away. He had a pretty long field goal to end the first half. That's what makes it 45-0 at this point. So Santiago's offense going to get the ball to start this half, and it'll probably be a touchback fielded at the end zone. They're going to let him run it out. Here comes Atwood, slicing right up the middle near the 20-yard line, and we'll see the Santiago offense once again with Nano Castillo, a guy who you had really high praise for during the halftime break.
I think Castillo's really been a warrior in this game because he's not had time to get his feet set. He's not had time to get anything set up, and he's always got people in his face, and it's just constantly under pressure, and he's still working hard to deliver.
So Castillo, with his offense starting at the 20, I think they're going to give him the touchback because his foot was on the line when he received that kickoff. Clock is running here in the second half with a 45-point lead. So Castillo, quick screen, gets a far sideline, cut back, still running, pickup of 6 as he got it out to Jackson Kurtz, the junior.
And again, those quick outs, those quick hitters, because I think by the time Castillo gets to his third step and a 3-step drop, he's got people in his face. quick screens to the outside, pick plays. Where one receiver runs a crossing route with the other receiver, those are going to be what's going to get their bread and butter this half.
So a pickup of 5 on first down, brings up 2nd and 5 from the 25. Santiago still looking for their first points of the game. Ball on that far hash. 2 receivers to the short side, 1 to the wide side, along with the tailback. Centennial shows blitz. Santiago runs the counter. Pickup of about 3 or 4 on the handoff to Pecklum.
And again, creating havoc with the blocking schemes of Santiago. If they're in a zone blocking scheme, they're covering gaps. And if there's no one in the gap right before the snap, and all of a sudden, bam, a player shows up, that changes the whole responsibility every play.
So 3rd and 1 for Santiago. We talked about picking up those short chunks of yardage against a Centennial defense that closes quickly.
You're going to have to get the short chunks and not worry about a huge play, because that would happen eventually as they overplayed, if you get them to overplay.
Trips to the near side. Shotgun snap. Castillo looks quickly. Little pop pass over the top. Atwood in the area. He overthrew his receiver. 4th and 1. What do you do here if you're Santiago? Under 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
I think you got to go for it. I mean, with the running clock, and it's the 3rd quarter, and they had a nice little drive going here. Unfortunately, on that one there was a blitz. He found his hot receiver and overthrew him. But something quick up, a little slant. Nothing straight up the gut, because their linemen are just too big, too strong.
Appears that is what they will be doing. 4th and 1. Castillo and the offense still out there. 2 receivers near side. Strength of the formation set by that wing back. Quick pass. Going to be a screen. Picked off. This is 6. Isaiah Young. Touchdown Centennial. And the defense gets in on the action.
And number 5.
Isaiah Young with that pick 6.
Isaiah Young just sat on that route. Just sat. Read the quarterback's eyes. Castillo never looked off the receiver. Threw an out route, and he just read it. It was a great play by the corner.
So Centennial's defense gets in on the scoring. There's been a lot of that tonight for Centennial. 51-0. This is our guy, Velasco, on for the extra point.
35 in a row?
Well, I think we're well beyond that now. 6 touchdowns in the first half. So that means that was 37. He had 31 coming in. That's 38 in a row for Velasco, if my math is correct. Automatic on the extra points.
Do we know the county record? Is there a record for
there has to be
in a row?
I mean, Pep Fernandez might know.
Yeah, we'll have to give him a call later. Maybe Jeff Gorham would know, because Jeff Gorham
I don't
at
think
one
so.
time might have been a great kicker. Or maybe not. Maybe he wasn't a great kicker. Maybe he was a punter.
I heard he was a pretty good athlete in some sport. I can't remember which one it was, though.
I don't think
was it water
football.
polo?
I don't know. I don't think he met the pool that he liked.
Got it.
I think it was basketball. He was a very good athlete in basketball. On the offensive side, he didn't play much on the defensive side. He'll be the first to admit that. And but football-wise, I believe he was a punter who never got his uniform dirty. And that's the way he liked it. And his parents liked it that way, too.
52-0.
So, again, as the coaches at Santiago, you can't let the guys get down, and you just got to execute and run your stuff.
Santiago's a good team. That's a proven, well-known fact. Problem is, you got to finish top 2 or 3 in the Big VIII League to get in.
And I think we're seeing Centennial being one of the best teams, or the best team, and then there'll be a scramble for that second, third spots. Norco, Roosevelt, Santiago.
Well, and the Sharks have got the Roosevelt Mustangs next week.
So they're going to have to bounce back quick. You have to have a short memory in this league.
This is an onside kick for Centennial. They could recover, but it goes out of bounds. But it got past the first line of Santiago. There were a couple white jerseys over there. But they were unable to recover, and it was actually Isaiah Young in the area trying to get that onside kick and had it slip through his hands and go out of bounds. So Santiago will take over with decent field position at what looks like their own 44.
That's an interesting call with a 50-point lead, an onside kick. I'll just leave it at that. An interesting call to make to get the ball back that quickly.
Going to put the ball at the 45. Castillo back out there for the Sharks. 6:24 on the clock as it continues to run. Centennial is going to bring the house. on first down. Taking the handoff, Castillo keeps it himself, and he is stood up at the line of scrimmage. On first down, lost maybe a yard. 2nd and 11 it'll be from their own 44.
I do want to make the point, though, Centennial has sub. We see some second-teamers in there now. But the thing is, the drop-off probably isn't that far from their second-teamers to their first-teamers.
2nd and 11 for Castillo and the Sharks. They got Norco next week, and then it'll be Roosevelt. Then they finish it off with Corona and King. So the toughest part of the Big 8 League schedule for Santiago comes first. Screen pass coming back in, and that's a drop. Castillo put it right on the numbers of Jackson Kurtz. He couldn't hang on.
And that's just a concentration thing. You've seen the big hits happen. You've seen the picks. And he wants to make a big play. And as he started running before he caught the ball, again, I think Castillo's a warrior. He's putting the ball up there. He's still battling. And the Santiago team's still battling. They're not giving up. They're playing with some pride.
3rd and long, trips to the far side of the field. 11 yards to the first down marker. Ball spotted at the 44. Castillo, as the Sharks try to convert. Castillo trips as he tries to escape the pocket. He goes down, and bringing pressure off the edge for Centennial was Malik Skurlock.
Malik Skurlock, 6'3", 280. Drake Jackson, 6'4", 275. Corey Foreman, 6'5", 250. That's a Division I defensive line coming at you play after play.
Roque went on to punt for Santiago, standing at his own 29-yard line. And the Sharks will give it right back to the Huskies. Love to see a few new names on the field for Centennial offensively. 4:18 and counting in the 3rd quarter. High snap, Roquin backpedals, able to get it off despite an attempt by Drake Jackson to get the block. Nobody back to return for Centennial. This one going to keep rolling.
Great roll.
Inside the 15, they'll down it at the 14-yard line. And this is the first time that Santiago's defense has really had a lot of field behind them.
So I think, again, as a coach, you want to get your guys to run their system, do what they do. They have a lot of pride in their defense, what they're known for. And it doesn't matter if it's first team, second team. You still got to play with pride. You still got to execute.
1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. The quarterback on for Centennial.
Number 15.
They'll hand it off up the middle. A good gain on first down. There on the carry, Nicholas Floyd. So Jake Retzlaff in at quarterback. 2nd and 2 for Centennial on the 8-yard first down pickup. Doubles formation, ball near the near hash. Retzlaff in the shotgun. Handoff. So they go right back to Floyd with it. He's near the first down. We'll see if they give it to him. This is going to be real close. And it appears to be just short. 3rd and less than a yard.
So again,
Retzlaff shotgun.
If you're Santiago, you got to take those splits, those wide splits. You got to attack the seams in that. You got to attack those gaps.
Handoff yet again. This will be a false start. Centennial moved early as they tried to get it to Floyd.
Retzlaff, a sophomore. I believe he'd probably be the brother of Reggie Retzlaff.
Very well could be. Reggie was a
guess.
quarterback himself.
And he's turned into quite a fine wide receiver.
Well, for Retzlaff, transferring in from Claremont. This is a handoff. Floyd trying to get that first down, still fighting. Broke a couple tackles, got out beyond the 25. And that's good enough for a first down for the Huskies to move the chains. Under 2 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter, moving quickly as the clock continues to run.
Blake Seamson in on that play from his linebacker position for Santiago as he moves into defense to play defense for them.
Retzlaff, quick pass, finds his man on the screen. All kinds of running room. This is a broken, wide open play for Aaron Ulian up the near sideline, down to about the Sharks' 20-yard line. How about Aaron Uloa?
That was quite a run. That was a nice play. That was just a little bubble screen, a quick hitter out to the slot back who just found a seam and just squirted through it like grabbing a piece of soap in the shower. Just squirted right out of there.
1st and 10 from the Santiago 20. Retzlaff, shotgun, handoff. Floyd up the middle, got through the first line, but couldn't get much further. Pickup of 2 on the play.
As we watch Retzlaff at quarterback, we see a young guy, sophomore, learning how to play the position. His fakes are not quite as seamless as both Friedland and Michaele, but Michaele I thought was really good at carrying plays out. So even after he handed it off, he'd come up throwing, or looking like he was throwing. And that's pretty impressive.
Screen pass again. This one's complete. First down distance inside the 10 as they get it over to Christian Baniga.
So that's just a little screen route. One receiver crosses the other, and as the first receiver crosses, it creates a screening action like a basketball screen for that wide receiver on the outside.
Retzlaff, snap, gave it to Floyd. Miscommunication on the handoff, but Centennial hangs on to it. Maybe even picked up a yard or 2 on 1st and goal. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. A long walk to the opposite side. Centennial on top, 52-0. Their points in the second half, courtesy of an Isaiah Young pick 6 on the Santiago's first drive of this half.
And Young did a great job on that route. He sat on that route, and he read the quarterback's eyes all the way. And unfortunately, the ball hung a little bit, and he read it, pick 6, untouched into the end zone. But right now, we have 12 minutes to go for Santiago to make a statement, either make it stop defensively here in close quarters in the red zone, and then come back and get a score and just execute. That's the bottom line. Is I'm sure Coach Morrison wants to see them execute so they can get prepared for next week.
It would feel a lot better to go into that Norco game having at least scored some points.
Absolutely. And I've not seen the Norco team this year, but I know they played some really tough teams. I know they barely lost to a tough Servite team on a late play. And Chuck Chastain always has those Norco guys ready to go. And they've got a big, beefy line every year. And it's going to be a battle.
I think attendance is the same as it was at the start of this game.
Absolutely.
And that's a credit to the school culture here at Santiago.
Yes.
Everybody's sticking around despite their team being down 52-0. They're partying. They're having a good time. And I think part of it is that they know they've got a very good team and that they could be playing deep into the playoffs despite this loss to Centennial, who's almost otherworldly.
Yes. And I look on the sideline, and something we talk about every week, if there is quite a sizable gap, we don't see any chin-to-chest action on the Santiago side. They're still head up. They're still into the game. They're still paying attention. The sideline guys aren't hanging their heads, and that's good to see.
Retzlaff now with 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Got Floyd right behind him. Up the middle, Floyd into the end zone, and Centennial up 58-0.
And again, those gaps that they have, the splits between the linemen, a yard or longer or larger between the linemen, and they blocked down, zone blocking scheme, created a huge hole, untouched into the end zone by Floyd.
Here's our guy, Velasco. What did we say it was, 38?
38.
Going for 39. PATs made this season. Hasn't missed one yet.
I hope you didn't jinx him there, Cullen.
I've been saying it all game long, and he's been doing okay.
That's like when a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter.
Don't talk about it. Definitely don't talk about it. Velasco, though, we can talk about him.
We have a late arrival to the party here.
11th man comes on, Velasco. See, I told you, Tim, he's money. Absolute money. 39 for 39 in 2018 for Velasco. That's my guy. Best kicker in the Big VIII League, I tell you what.
Now, I've had a chance to see other kickers. Remember, we've had a few kickers this year that have some pretty impressive numbers. I think Aruba Hills had a kicker that was very good. And, Citrus Valley also. We had a kicker that was very good. And I don't know what it is. A lot of them are soccer players that convert over. I know at Citrus Hill we had some kickers that have gone on to college careers. One of our best kickers, he went to Fresno State and got a disease there. I'm blanking on his name right now. But anyway, he ended up recovering for his senior year, had a great career, but he started out as a soccer player. So I know our football team drafts from the soccer team and gets a part-time kicker because then they can go back to soccer in the winter season. Again, Centennial's kick team. We see number 9, number 5.
Up 52-0. Still starters out there. New kicker going to kick this one away, though.
Stepped into the end zone. Good kick.
Kicks it out of the back of the end zone. A good kick by Tristan Kaufman.
And for our listeners, the high school level, if you cross the plane into the end zone on the kick, it's a touchback automatic. You have no choice on the return. You can't run it back. It's automatic 20-yard line.
And so with 9:20 on the clock, we'll see a new quarterback for Santiago, and it's going to be Brandon Arambula. Quick play action. Trying to connect with his receiver to the near side as he tried to get it to Tate Giles. It was overthrown, out of bounds, incomplete.
Now, Brandon Arambula, here's a chance to get some quality snaps against a quality opponent. Even though they have put in some subs on both sides, it's still live game action. And again, Centennial's second string is probably as good as some teams' first strings.
3 receivers to the far side for Santiago, 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Under 9 minutes to play. Backup quarterback in. They're going to try a pop pass over the top, and this will be defensive holding as they try to get it to Giles.
That was a good read. I don't know if that was a checkoff at the line, but he threw it to the right spot, and the receiver was held by the defensive back from Centennial.
So Najee Bonner going to get flagged on that one. Just got beat a little bit by Giles and grabbed onto whatever he could. Santiago trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. Penalty will bring up a first down at the 30 now, 1st and 10.
So let's see what Arambula can do.
Under 8 minutes to play. A 59-0 lead for Centennial. Long bus ride home for them. Takes about 4 minutes to get back to Centennial. Handoff up the gut. Good strong run, lowering his shoulder at the end. Is Packlub out near the first down marker. Pickup of 9 it's going to be to the 39-yard line of Santiago.
One of the better running plays they've had today. Again, a pride issue for Santiago's side. You want to get a score in. And like you said, it builds some positive momentum going into watching film and getting ready for that next game.
Or is this just one of those films that you throw away?
I think that there's still things to be learned and taken away from it. And execution-wise, great
Keeper
read
for the backup quarterback across midfield. Boy, how about that? Comes into the game, trying to get some reps before the end of the game, and a real good pickup out near the 40-yard line of Centennial.
And a great read, great run. I thought maybe if he'd have followed that blocker, the wide receiver blocking to the outside, he might have picked up a few more yards, but I'm not going to fault him. He got a first down. Biggest play of the day, I believe, by the Sharks.
Got to be close. 1st and 10 now from the Centennial 41. Approaching 6.5 to play. Trips to the left side for Arambula. Quick pop pass, hanging on to it with the fingertips. Good catch by Jeremy Schneider. Pickup of about 6 on first down. So Santiago moving the chains here.
And as we start winding down, I got to go with my missability award for that running back from Centennial, Cortez, definitely. He had missability with smashability combined together to make quite a combo today.
How about 4 touchdowns for him?
Absolutely.
2nd and 2 off the completion to Schneider. Now they'll give it to Packlub. Picked up a couple. Won't be enough for the first down, though.
Sometimes on the read option like that, you're the running back. And as the quarterback is handing you the ball, they got to be thinking, oh, crap. Here they are. They're closing on me. Why did you give it to me? But a lot of that sets up the next play or sets up another play off of that read option.
3rd and about 1. Santiago driving in Centennial territory. They'll motion Atwood across. And instead they'll give it to Packlub. He breaks out of 1 tackle, running inside the 20, down to the 15. Good running by Packlub in the late stages of this one.
Breaking tackles, running hard, north-south. Good holes opened up by the offensive lineman for Santiago, led by Jacob Serta. And Connor Dickinson getting some good reps out there for the offensive line for the Sharks.
5 minutes to play and counting. They'll go with the fade route to Giles. He's there trying to hang on as he adjusted over the opposite shoulder. But in the back of the end zone, he couldn't come up with it. And so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Good spot. Should have let him a little bit longer, thrown to that outside shoulder instead of the inside, but it was a nice adjustment, almost a circus catch.
4.5 minutes on the clock.
Now, if you're on the Centennial sideline, they're saying don't let him score. They want to come out of here with the 0, with a shutout.
Centennial going to have Corona next week. They'll improve to 6-0 on the season. Give it to Packlub again. Why not? Down to the 11-yard line. Pick up a 4. Speaking of 4, there's 4 minutes left in this one, running clock.
And some more substitutions on the Centennial side.
Well, if you're Santiago and you really want to get that last score and get on the board before this game ends and avoid the shutout, you can call a timeout to stop the clock, and Morrison's got 3 of them in his back pocket. Arambula, as they motion a man across. Throw it out towards Atwood. What a pass breakup. This could be roughing the passer, though, as a flag is thrown in the backfield.
Absolutely what they're going to call. Arambula threw that one up, hung that one up a little bit. Got lucky it wasn't a pick 6, but at the same time, he was hit after the play for a personal foul.
I believe it was Aaron Uloa who came up with the pass breakup. Had a pretty good run when the Huskies were on offense not too long ago in the 3rd quarter. Good closing speed, and that's something you've touched on a lot tonight, is the closing speed of this Centennial defense. 1st string, 2nd team, 3rd team, it doesn't matter. When you think someone's open, they're probably not.
Yeah, and by the time you notice they're open and you deliver the ball, they're not by the time the ball gets there.
1st and goal off the personal foul, puts the ball at the 6-yard line for Santiago. 2:45 on the clock, still running. Sharks trying to score before the night comes to a close. Atwood motions across. They'll give it to him. Jet sweep. Atwood trying to get the corner to the pylon. Down inside the 5-yard line, short of the goal line. And so 2nd and goal for Santiago.
For a minute there, it looked like he had the corner. But again, that closing speed by the linebackers caught up with him, but still down to the 2-yard line. 3-yard line, 2.5. It's actually the 2.25-yard line.
Okay. We strive for as much accuracy as possible.
It's actually the 2-meter line.
There you go. Either way, it's 2nd and goal. Rambula back to pass, got a man, and he overthrows his intended target. Looks like he was trying to get it to Jackson Kurtz on that far side corner of the end zone.
He was pretty well covered. There was a small window for him to sneak it into. Close call on that one. They have not had a plethora of receivers open today.
So late in the game, running clock, and you decided to pull out the big words. Is that what it is, Hatch?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ball on the far hash. They got trips to the near side on a 3rd and goal situation with under 1.5 minutes to play. Rambula hands it off. Santiago could be on the board, and they are. Garrett McMurtry does the honors. 59-6. Santiago avoids the goose egg. And everybody who's stuck around, well, they've got something to celebrate about now.
Nice job of the offensive line there. Again, Jacob Serta, Connor Dickinson leading the way. With help from Thomas Tuff, my favorite name for an offensive lineman.
Let's talk for a minute about Arambula coming in as the backup quarterback and leading Santiago on their first successful sustained drive of the game.
Now, not to belittle it or anything like that, it was second team versus the second team, and he did execute, though. He did a good job. But if you're sitting there as Nano Castillo, he's looking back saying, man, I was going against the Division I lineman. And but I know he's happy for his teammate there, because that's the culture they have here at Santiago, supporting each other. A great team culture here.
Extra point is no good, falling victim to a bad snap. And that is how this game is going to end. So Santiago will ride a high note into a very big matchup with Norco in a tough Big VIII League. Centennial, well, they've been good all season long. They go to 6-0. They'll have a matchup with Corona next week. We'll see them deep into the Division I playoffs. They're number 3 in CIF Division I right now. Santiago's number 6 in Division III. We'll see them in the playoffs as well, I believe, because that's a very good team, and they got 6 points to avoid the shutout. 59-6 the final. Centennial wins the Battle of Rimpa, 23rd year in a row. Santiago still looking for their first win over the Huskies. It may come one day, but it's not tonight. So Santiago falls to Centennial 59-6. We appreciate you joining us. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Colin Holt. Of course, none of this would be possible without our great sponsors. Next time you need your oil changed, check out Spoiled. Quick quality oil change on Alessandro Boulevard in Riverside, just off the 215 freeway. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled, and give them a follow on Instagram. They give you a mint on your dashboard if you're Tim Hatch and you have bad breath. 2 or 3 mints, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Since 1976, well before Tim Hatch was born, Ken Sporting Goods has been the #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire. They can also do uniforms for your entire team or your business, and of course they do Letterman's jackets. I'm also told they're the official shoe provider for Tim Hatch.
Thanks to Adam Minoski at Ken Sporting Goods.
Check out Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. Visit them online at kensportinggoods.com. If you're on the market looking for a car, truck, SUV, or a super tall unicycle like Tim Hatch drives, make Catalano Motors in Corona your first stop. They have a weekly special, so you're going to save thousands of dollars. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get an additional $500 off. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road, and visit them online at catalanocars.com. Athletes from all sports and all levels are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed classes. Become the explosive, dynamic athlete or color commentator that you always dreamed of being. Follow Boost on Twitter and Instagram, and visit them online at boosttrainingsystems.com. That's Boost Performance Training. I hear workouts with Tim Hatch are 10 a.m., right?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. I apologize. If you'd like to advertise with us during one of our broadcasts or the Inland Sports Show, simply shoot us an email at inlandsportsshow.com. Our next broadcast will be next Thursday. Hillcrest takes on Ramona, River Valley League action. Tim Hatch and I will have the call for you right here. Same bat time, same bat YouTube channel. Centennial, that is, picks up a 59-6 win over Santiago, the Battle of Rimpa. It was a good one. It was entertaining, and Centennial flexed their muscles in Big VIII League play, as well they should. Matt Logan thinks he's got one of the best defenses he's ever had at Centennial, and that's a scary thought for any opponent that they'll come up against. St. John Bosco, who they lost to in the semifinals, Mater Dei, the 2 guys ahead of them in the CIF Southern Section polls in Division I, well, they might meet them in the playoffs, and those are going to be some good games as well. So Big VIII League play will continue in the IE. We'll have Centennial against Roosevelt in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a good one, so join us on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Once again, Centennial 59, Santiago 6. The Sharks will fall to 3-3 on the season, 0-1 in league. Centennial 1-0 in league with a 6-0 overall record. That's Tim Hatch in the Hawaiian shirt. I'm Colin Holt in the polo per usual. We appreciate you joining us, IE High School Football, on the YouTube channel. We'll see you next week, Ramona and Hillcrest. Don't forget IEMG Sports Weekly Live tomorrow night, live on the IEMG YouTube channel, Riverside TV Game of the Week as well. So your Friday night all scheduled out for you, thanks to Inland Sports, Riverside TV, and IEMG TV. You all have a great evening.
Whoa, one last time. One last time. One last time. Take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain. Indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. To someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me. But I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding. I saw my first child expanding. I take care of you when you get old. Just think about it, come and make my life fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. Wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you, life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. It hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you, life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. One last time. One last time. Take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain. Indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. To someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me. But I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding. I saw my first child expanding. I take care of you when you get old. Think about it, come and make my life fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight I'll just enjoy the ride. true life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting. And just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. It hurt so bad. I was going to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride, and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time. One last time, take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. Do someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me, but I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding, I saw my first child exciting. I take care of you when you get old. Just think about it, come and make my legs fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Just we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. Wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride, and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. One last time. cried for help, you would never come like you tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that. Said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa. Without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time. One last time, take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. To someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me. But I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding, until my first child is standing. I'll take care of you when you get old. Think about it coming, make my legs fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. Wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. Cried for help, you would never come like you tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that. Said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, life.